Already?
Shit, I haven't watched the news.
I didn't mean that politically, it's just happening, folks. The survivors will be the first to go on stage, yes.
Yeah, I was finally able to watch it. You're talking about the right? Yeah, first correct? Yeah, actually, have
you gotten a chance to actually not hang out after being character the whole time yet this con?
No.
That sounds unfortunate.
I'll tell you what, we will start at 7:02. As I say, give about 2 minutes because they just announced, if I understand right, you guys just announced down the hall.
Apparently it said 7:30 on the door for some reason. Yes, we are starting at 7:02.
Okay, then that's what we'll do.
Very, very slow.
Sorry? I got asked to get out of the elevator with them.
What was it for a first shooter?
No.
Yes, no.
I was going with floor 2. They told me to get the hell out.
I heard somebody tell a fursuiter to use the stairs.
Yeah.
I was like,
That was Seraphim getting told that. He's done it before. He's a professional. He's still doing it.
Oh, they might have, yeah, if it was Seraphim, it might have been sarcastically.
Yeah, he did it anyway.
Yeah, sorry, Seraphim would do that. Okay, I just want to make sure everyone agrees. It is really hot on the second floor.
Yes.
Yes.
It's humid.
And none of these windows open out into the glorious frozen north, right?
Nope.
Because why would they?
it has to be hot.
Alkali, remember, it's the basic management rule of thumb. If it makes sense, don't do it.
Yeah.
There is a thermostat right there.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's a placebo.
There's some kind of a bypass that they use, so they can turn it off, but they won't turn it off because of COVID. But yeah, those thermostats don't do anything. It will reset itself in like at the half hour, an hour or something, and it doesn't turn on. The hotel has to control it. Sorry, guys. In other words, they won't let us do what we did the first year, which was put all the rooms to 60 and laugh.
You got in trouble for hanging your coat over it, didn't you?
I got in trouble for putting my coat that I soaked in warm water over the thermostat so that the air conditioning in my room would not turn off all night. I got in trouble from the hotel and from Xander, who woke up with cold tootsies. But I got revenge on him because my hand was outside of the covers and freezing cold, so then I sprayed it. Jerk. He wasn't in necrophilia before, he is now. Adrian, it's up to
I
you.
got 7:03. You think we're pretty good?
I think we're good.
All right, guys. So I'm not going to do what Alkali does and say welcome to open mic because I don't want to ruin my voice on the first 5 seconds of this panel. So, for those of you who haven't been to this before, here's how it works. It's very simple. We are going to call on you one at a time, and by we I mean these two because I can't see you. So that's why they're here. They are my eyes. And so if you want to come up, you want to do a skit, you want to do something of that nature, you want to try and make us laugh, then go for it. Raise your hand and we'll call on you and you can come up. Because of the capacity of this room, it looks like we'll probably go 4 minutes each. I'll have a stopwatch, and when we get to 3 minutes 30 seconds, I'll stand up, and then that'll just kind of alert you that, okay, kind of wrap it up. Just a few basic things before we do get started, call on people to come up here. If you plan on doing this panel, then try and keep your comedy within reason. If you don't think Carlos Mencia would steal it, don't do it. We're adults. But there's a line where it crosses into shock humor. Even the three of us are very nervous to even touch that if we do. So I don't recommend that. This is a place to have fun. Let's have fun. Guys,
Two things. None of you are George Carlin, so don't. Also, he's blind, but deaf, and he might hurt his feelings. So.
at least you didn't say the lamest book, the lamest joke, and the lamest book in the joke. Son.
This is why we're not doing open mics. So
Yeah.
let's. Anything else?
No, I think that's about it, guys. Everyone that comes up on the stage as a performer, I'm ripping this off of Alkali. So give them more respect than you would give us. Give them your undivided attention. Most of this is probably unplanned for them. So give them the love that they deserve. And above all, have a good time and enjoy yourselves. And welcome to Open Mic.
We didn't take up seats in the front row. We're not checking out your ass. It's just the only place we can sit. Fire. So, without further ado,
Let's pick the person whose ass I want to check out. So, fair warning, guys, I do apologize. I got double booked. Half an hour into this panel, I'll be leaving from the Fox and Pepper show, so I do apologize for that. I just don't want, if I leave, I'm not leaving because of you. I'm leaving because I need to get downstairs. So, go right ahead. First, I
you
will
know
get
what?
the time.
And if you don't get chosen, sorry. It's just there's a lot of people here. And I'm going to start with the first here, so it's hot, so he can leave if it gets too hot. What's your name?
Sigma.
Sigma. Welcome up, Sigma. Mike's
Ladies
right
and
there,
gentlemen,
it's
give it up for Sigma!
on. Don't drop it.
Yeah, no dropping the mic, please. They're expensive.
Oh, good Lord, no.
Thank you.
Am I doing okay with this distance?
Yes.
Okay, just double check. So myself, this was a long year ago, long time ago. I went ahead and I followed the same rules as the Con War stories for my first con that I was at in 2016. So I'm actually going to default to this because I like that rule that you guys go off of. So back when I was way too young to be in the workforce at this location, I was at Goodwill. I used to work in the back, taking in donations. We've taken everything under the sun. We've taken, like Legos and like kids' toys, taking like Nerf guns and everything. No problems. First one that I got of one of these terrible ass horror stories is I was working there in the back at the conveyor belt, and I'm chilling out back there, parsing through things, throwing tags on, shove it down the line, keep moving, and long big brown box comes in. Now, to preface this, the person there that was working at the door was like 30, 40 years old. And you guys remember the old comics back from like the bubblegums. What were they called again? It was started with B.
Bazooka?
Yes, thank you, Bazooka. So we have someone there. Someone's coming in. It's like, you guys take Nerf guns, right? Yeah, sure. We've done it before. We actually have taken a few airsoft guns in the past. Person comes up to you. You guys take bazookas as well. Right after following up the question of Nerf guns. Person doesn't even think two seconds about it. Yeah, sure. Throws it on there. I'm in the conveyor belt. Throw it on. Open up the box. It is a World War II bazooka. With live ammo.
Oh, no.
Used to save bomb school, it was called. The pretty box with the light starts going through, everyone's evacuated, it ends up getting handled. We now, anytime that there was anything remotely related to guns and could be misconstrued, we had to make sure. What do you mean? Other terrible story that I have from there. I was working in the back, and again, parsing through boxes. Person's coming in, you guys take toys? Absolutely. Take Legos, take play sets. We obviously wash them down, no problems there. Comes in through there, got like a, I don't know, about maybe 1 foot by 1 foot by 1 foot box. Open it up, and it's all adult toys. Somehow, the person in the back never thought, what do they mean by adult toys? Okay, fine. Things happen, go through there. But it was a blow-up doll on top first. and it was still wet and glistening.
Oh.
There we go ahead, we're like, well, there's no way we're putting this out there. I'm about 2 feet from throwing it in the trash compactor. Someone goes, wait! Why? Like, just trust me. We go ahead and we process clothes in the back. You know, it's a giant hay baler, old school farm equipment. Any clothes that we can repurpose or throw it in there. He packs it down, throws the cardboard in it, some wire ties, ship it off onto the semi-truck. And there's 2 gates on it. One is the actual security gate, the other one is the actual compressor that actually compresses everything down so you can wire tie it up. Guy goes, give me 5 minutes, I'll be right back. I'm working the belt, and I swear to God, it was something out of like a 2001 Odyssey moment with the music playing in the back. I go ahead and I'm working, and I just hear the compressor going. and a line of dicks is just rising from the back. It was a fantastic moment. Management did not see it for 12 hours. We tried to get that thing to last as long as possible. Any time we're working back, we just heard things going up and down. And we just paid homage to this line of dicks throughout the entire day, just going slowly up and down. And on a wide range of colors, easily about 15 dicks on top of this thing. It was absolutely fantastic. They did find it the next morning, and it was no longer there. May they rest in peace.
Outstanding. Really well done, dude. I loved it.
May the dicks rest in peace. And with that, who's next? Let's go with you, up in the front row.
What's your name?
Tag name or any name I want to get?
What name would you like to give?
Anastasia.
Say it again.
Anastasia.
Anastasia.
Like the princess or the place.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Anastasia!
This is actually something I wrote. It's a song and it's called Backfire. You never thought that it would backfire. You never thought you would taste my ire. Here's a reality check. Now there is no going back. There is only forward. Whoa. You helped mold me into what I am, along with those who treat me bad. I'm sick and tired of the crap, and now you must deal with my wrath. You want me to have a backbone, you never dreamed I would use it on you. You never thought it would backfire, you never thought that you'd taste my ire. Here's a reality check, now there is no going back, there is only forward. Whoa, you made me what I am today, and now I have lots to say. Deal with it, move on, congrats, your actions are fire. You can't blame anyone but yourself. I'm the way that I am and I won't break down. I'm building myself up higher, and you can't put out this fire. You wanted me to have a backbone, you never dreamed I would use it on you. You never thought that it would backfire, you never thought you would taste my ire. Here's a reality check, now there is no going back, there is only forward. Whoa, you made me what I am today, and now I have lots to say. Deal with it, move on, congrats, your actions backfire. Deal with it, move on, congrats, your actions backfire.
Keep singing. You have a voice. You seriously do.
And at least a way for writing. Amazing.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And from my position of wonderful ass. That was really well done here. I really enjoyed that. I'm still around. Can we get our comedy buddy to come on up? Comedy buddy! Hey! We're going to call, I want to bring Jake so bad to be a smart ass. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Chris the comedy buddy!
I was not expecting to follow actual talent. I was hoping I was going to follow comedians. So please be gentle with me. Sometimes the world can be perfect, and you know those moments when like everything aligns and you're just feeling great, and you're like, yes, that was the moment that I need to remember. Well, I have a couple of those that I'd like to share with you right now. One time, me and my friends, we were watching not Maltese Falcon noir, but like the Brass Bear noir. Not a great noir film, but something like it. And we were hanging out, and it was great, and there came a point in the movie where the dick was, really giving it to some guy, and not in the way you're thinking. And he's pressing him for answers, and he's all like, yeah, I know what you did. You took the body, and you drove away with the body. That's what you did. You killed him, didn't you? And he's all like, no, I didn't kill nobody. I just drove away with the body. And he had just enough of a hitch in his voice to where my friend paused the movie, and we looked at each other, and we both knew what needed to happen. And I started, and I said, I see bodies of old, bodies of new. And I looked at him and he said, I didn't kill no one. That just ain't true. And I think to myself, I just drove away with the body. And my friend, my third friend goes, you guys are stupid. And goes upstairs to get something to drink. And we look at each other and say, and I think to myself, I just drove away with the body. And there's a lull, and we're like, yeah, that was good. It's like sex. And then we hear a dun, 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 and then on the beat, my friend jumps down from the stairs and goes, dun, dun, and we're all like, what? And he goes, everybody! And we go, oh, and we go, rock your body! Everybody, rock your body, right? I point to my friend, he goes, Louis, back, all right! And it was perfect. Another instance of this was the last time I played Connect 4. For those of you that remember that Connect 4 meme that ran around a little bit a couple months ago, this story technically has nothing to do with that, but this is the last time Connect 4 has been culturally relevant in about 40 years, so take what you can get. So, for those of you that don't remember, the Connect 4 commercial, which I always connected with as a kid, weird pun intended, and so I really liked it, because the whole premise was, there's this little boy, we'll probably call him Johnny, because that's what I assume his name was in the script, and he's in the middle of a battle with his little sis about how they're both playing Connect 4, and he's all like, he's like, little sis goes, look, I win again, and he goes, where? I can't see, and she goes, right there, bitch, diagonally. And he's like, oh, pretty sneaky, sis. But for me, I was like, why is he so invested in that fucking game? It's just Connect. But then I realized, I get it. There was a dad behind him who was like, if you lose to your sister again, I'm gonna beat your ass. I'm going to beat your ass senseless, and I have no son. And that was something that always stuck with me. Well, fast forward a couple of years, and then what ends up happening, I'm with my friend, we're hanging out, it's a nice day, we're in his kitchen, we're at his dining table, and we're playing Connect 4. And it's like the last, game, I'm done, I'm cool. And so, we're getting to the final moment, I drop my thing, and I realize I won last turn, and I go, check it out, I won. And he goes, where? I can't see. And I realize what's going on, and I go, oh shit. And I say, right there, diagonally. And not knowing what he said, he said, not knowing what he was about to unlock, he says, oh, pretty sneaky, Chris. And I freak the fuck out at the table, and I run out that door, and I have never played another game of Connect 4 because I don't need to. Thank you very much, everybody. That was my time.
Guys, give it up for Jake the Comedy Buddy. Chris, always fun. Thank you so much. That was a lot of fun.
Let's go in the back. Green. Sorry, he was here first.
No, it's fine.
We'll get you next.
Okay.
Maybe.
Dude, affirmative action.
Maybe. Definitely. What's your name? Huffer Supreme. Everybody give it up for Huffer Supreme! Woo!
fuckers, they come to me in the ER. Try being with them for 12 fucking hours. You bastards. But it's okay, because I work in CAT scan, and we irradiate the shit out of them, because they can never hold still. So inadvertently, I've sterilized most of them.
Thank you.
So, do you guys remember when, like, the drug bath salts hit the TV really good? Yeah? The zombie guy eating the lady's face?
Yeah.
You think that's fucking terrifying on the TV? Wait until you get a little 5-foot nothing chick getting tackled by 3 cops and still fucking winning. Right? I've never seen something so terrifying because she was covered in blood. But it was hers. And she's still fighting like nothing's happened. Right? I thought patient zero's on my damn table. The end is nigh. She clearly bit somebody. Right? So another kind of fun thing that happens in the ER that nobody tells you about, people are really dumb. Dumber than you would think. Shit comes in, my belly hurts. Okay, scan and see what's going on. What's that? Did you forget to take the bag of cocaine out of your vagina? You did! Oh my! Police! You're dying, but it happens!
That's a terrible waste of good cocaine. That's not how you take it.
Clearly, somebody forgot to tell her. Right? So, I'm a big bearish guy, but I realize I sound like a 14-year-old girl most of the time. Fun thing they don't tell you. You should probably try to explain to a blind patient that you're not a woman. He was very disappointed when I took his hand after arguing with me that I was a woman and said, "That's my beard." He thought he was getting a thrill. Oh my god. I'm blanking on my last joke. Oh no.
You're doing great. Keep going.
Yeah, you are.
You don't have to.
I can remember it. It's funny. So, the thing with the people from the convention war stories is a lot of the same symptoms of drunk and high are the same ones for stroke and brain bleed. But trying to... Exactly! That's why they come to me. But if you try to explain this to these people, the usual reaction you get is, "Fuck you, I need more." Unless it's bath salts, and then it's, Oh, so, remembering the joke, if you're an 80-year-old woman, and you know, you're having a scan, I really recommend don't grab my ass. Because that happens. They get feisty. But one in particular pulled out her teeth and said, "I'll do things you've never felt before."
Oh my God.
And I was having the most confused boner of my life.
Keep doing this. Keep doing it.
That was just a string of occurrences, and that was wildly funny, dude. And I will never be able to get out of my head of a woman snorting cocaine in her vagina.
The sound.
And the sound.
Well, the sound was more like...
Thank you for that.
Thank you, everybody. It's been a good night.
For those of you who just came into the room, we've been talking about women snorting cocaine in their vagina. The door's right there.
Oh, your turn. Go ahead. Okay, it's my turn again.
My last one.
Okay, I'm not going to break. I'm not going to break a promise. Come on down. Maybe.
Ah, shit. Let me do the introduction. I need to organize. What's your name?
Chivas?
No. What do we want to be introduced by this time? What's a common name? You know,
I don't know. I'm not
Ladies and gentlemen!
I don't know! Okay, so I'm not really a funny guy. I don't really have like a bit or anything. I just speak from experience. And I think this is an experience that you can all relate to. I'm pretty much sure everybody in this room has a cell phone, alright?
Yo.
Okay, alright. So, how many of you sexting on your phone?
Yo. Stop.
Oh, the honest person in the room, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey! That's the one I'm texting to. Hey, wait a minute.
Now, I've been in the fandom for over 20 years, and yes, I am a huge perv, and yes, I do get my rocks off to that kind of thing. And I'm going to tell you an experience with autocorrect.
Oh.
I'm sure everybody's very familiar with autocorrect and also predictive text. And if you sext quite a bit, your phone tends to try and correct some of the things that you put down. And it can be pretty frustrating and go back, no, that's not what I wanted to say. I wanted to type CUM.COME. I'm not coming to my window. By the way, if you're doing that, that's very disgusting. Stop that. I need you to focus. So, here is a cautionary tale. One day, I decided to go to an IHOP. Because an IHOP has chicken, it has waffles. I love chicken and waffles. You put them together, I'll be friend for life. And I ran into some friends there. They'd just come back from a movie. I'm not sure what movie it was, probably Thor, it doesn't really matter here, but he was with a buddy of his. And one thing about my friends, they're not furries, but they do know about the furry fandom. And this friend in particular hates people. And when I say hates people, I mean if I brought him to this con, he would kill somebody. Because the first thing that they would do is, hey, how you doing? Next, he's not going to make it. He got a fursuit tail shoved up his ass, he's not going to make it. So, we have mutual friends, and we decided to play a prank. It's like, does so-and-so friend know you're here? No, we just came to watch a movie. Oh, that's great. You know what, let's play a prank. I'm going to give you my phone. You already know where this is going. I'm going to give you my phone. Why don't you text him with something that only you know? And then he'll read it, and he'll be like, how do you know that? Who is this person? Oh, okay. I think it's the funniest prank in the world. So, my friend takes my phone, starts typing on the phone. And then I see the pause. And then I see click, click, click. And then typing on the phone. Another pause. I'm thinking, why is it taking so long to type something? It shouldn't take that long. And then my brain goes, hey, you know, you just handed him your phone. You sexed on the phone and your phone remembered! So immediately, panic. I'm like, oh shit. Can I see what you're typing on the phone? I'm just curious. And right away I was like, oh, no, I just finished it. He shows me the phone, perfectly innocent messages. I go, oh, okay, that's cool. In the back of my mind, oh shit. So I'll just wait, probably about maybe like 10 or 15 years down the road, if I'm lucky, I'll meet this nice girl. We'll get married, have nuptials, and there'll be cake, and then of course there'll be the toast. And I'm just waiting for the moment where it comes out. You know, I've known this guy for quite a long time. Ever since he gave the phone to me, and I saw him make me come so hard my head explodes. And that's all I got.
That was worth it. Maybe.
Maybe. I shall not hide my shame, thank you.
Who would like to go next? We're going to go with Nate. I forgot. Kill? Yeah. Wait. Kill. K-I-L. Yes, sorry. You're wearing a kilt. Sorry.
Everybody give it up for Kill!
You can also usually call me home. Usually say right, that damn Griffin did. Okay, guys, I've done this. This is 4 years running. Unfortunately, Aqua had to walk, and Kage's not here. I usually start with one slam at them. I wanted to meet my record.
fill in for Kage.
Okay, I wanted to meet my record of having at least one sitting conchair flip me off every time I do this.
Yep, there you go!
Kage and Alkaline, we're talking war stories here. It's been a little bit, we can do this. We're having more and more problems, as somebody said earlier, with substances. And you get the reactionary people. We furries need to start a war on drugs. We can't start a war on drugs. If you've got Kage and Alkali in the same room, you've already got the fourth column in the war on drugs. But, give you background on me real quick. My background. I've been in the fandom since the mid-90s. I was the first AC, that's one of the first slaps I took at Kage. I was around before he got it. I have 2 degrees. One's in criminal justice, one's in chemical dependency counseling. Which makes furry unpaid overtime for me. However, I also right now, I substitute teach for exceptional learners and Title I schools. So I get to see the Living Darwin Awards that one of our earlier people talked about. I literally had a child go through the problem of unfolding a paperclip into a giant staple and inserting it into an electrical outlet. This is not a 2nd grader, this is not a 1st grader, this is a 7th grader. And the excuse there was often one we hear out here, usually dealing with much more adult things. I was just pretending and somebody pushed me that went in. So, I deal with people. And I deal with furries. I mod 3 chats. And I will say, I normally do some species jokes. Not going to go into those too much now, but the one thing I will say, I do shout-outs to certain species, I do shout-outs to certain people. My current shout-out is to all the SJWs in the crowd. Guys, please, quit looking for things to be offended at. The Christians are starting to accuse you of cultural appropriation. And one species joke, gotta do it. Favorite species. Some of you guys have been around before, heard my military fox joke. We have come up with round 2 on that. They tell you there's no such thing as an atheist in a foxhole. That's because once you get in there, you've either made a deal with the devil or you found religion. Now, guys, I'm going to tell a quick SJW story here, just simply because we deal with them all the time. They're some of my favorite people because I get the best material from them. I am, as many people in the audience are, I'm on 2 screens simultaneously. I am doing a game with friends on a time thing. We're playing Diablo 3, we're doing seasonal lives. I see Telegram on the other window just start blowing up. And it's like, oh, what now? So I have some nice young lady who was in our not safe for work chat and got offended at something. So when I finally get through this 10-minute break, I turn around and, okay, somebody posted a sticker that she finds offensive. Okay, go looking for it. Drawing a blank here. So I have a nice mod. I go, can you please screenshot me what you're talking about? She screenshots me the sticker. It's like, okay, I saw that one. That's not offensive at all. No, it's not that sticker. It's other ones in the pack when I clicked on it. Looking for things to be offended at. Then she proceeds to post the ones that she found offensive, which actually were, and I had to give her a vacation from the chat because she not only got offended, she decided to get everybody else offended. And you're telling me it's time to go.
What did she do?
Melted down. She went to one of the co-mods, and that's when my husband's one of the co-mods, and then we have a gentleman down there who owns the chats. He makes me bad cop, and usually what he does is he sits down and going, okay, I'll consider letting you back in when you're not a meme anymore. Now guys, you guys might notice I had something in my hand. This was just in case I bombed.
Get off the stage! Very good though, very good. That was not a boo, get off the stage, that was really.
I
Alright.
intend to do more at some point. I'm actually thinking about getting a 20-minute show together.
Call me. Thank you. Let's see here.
I'm gonna head down to the Dr. Pepper.
I'm going to go for the
Come
spot
down there
in the back.
big main ball.
If you can get up there. Yeah.
There you go.
Jump like you're jumping on a tree.
I can switch views.
How much time we got?
Right now, we have, so 7:34, so, yeah.
You need the
We've
microphone?
got math, we got 25 minutes.
Music earlier.
We're still in it. It's a small
Okay. Oh, there. Can you hear me? Stay here now.
How
How about that?
Sunlight.
Much better. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, sorry. What's your name? Joe? I'm Joe.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Joe!
So, I'm a zookeeper. I work with birds. I did some of this bit at AC, and I want to prep everyone because my last joke bombed because it involved punchline was something dies. And so I'm going to double down tonight and tell you to just buckle in for it. So when you work with birds, birds die. That's what they do. That's what they want to do. That's the state they want to be in. If you're working with mammals, you might have like 30 things in your collection, and maybe 1 or 2 things in a year will die, just an old age or something. If you're working with birds, maybe you make it to Wednesday. I have had birds like in hand, holding them. There's a certain species that does it. Hold them, you sit there, you can be talking, you with the vets can look at them, and then you set them down in the kennel, and like, what's it doing? Like, oh, it just died when I set it down. It was looking around, it was fine in my hands, I put it down and it died. It was too stressful to put it down. So that's just sort of when you're dealing with birds. So when I tell somebody that I work at a zoo, I have a few different reactions. First, I'm like, oh, what do you do there? I'm like, oh, I work with birds. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Did you see McDonald's has a deal for 2 Whoppers for like $2? As soon as you say you don't work with carnivores or primates, they lose all interest in you. Some of them they really love birds and they want to tell you about like, oh, I saw this. Have you seen this species before? Or that, and those are the people to talk to. A lot of them, and my favorite ones are the ones who start telling me a story of a time they caught a bird or something like that, and they're like, we caught like this robin, and it was injured, so we were nursing it back to health. And they eat nuts, right? So we were giving them hazelnuts, but we didn't have that, so it was Nutella. But it died. That's how every one of those stories ends. This bird died. I got a call. I used to work at Home Depot, and they knew I worked at the zoo as well. And they were like, "Hey, we got a hawk that flew in, and what do we do?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't have a 30-foot ladder and a whole bunch of nets, so how about just call wildlife rehab?" And they called. I'm like, "Oh, right, that's smart." So they called. I get into work. Like, how'd that hawk go? I was like, "Oh, it died." So I worked in a zoo in Florida. We had a umbrella cockatoo, loud, annoying. His name was Orlando. And he loved to sit by the commissary and scream all day. Just that. You could hear him across the whole zoo. The commissary worker hated him. Because she had to be right next to him all day. And he'd be up there screaming, and she'd bust out of the commissary, probably knife and still in hand, and shut up, you nasty little bird! Because she was from Wales. And like one day we're walking by him, and he's doing his usual screaming, like, "Hey, Orlando, how you doing?" And we hear this little, and we knew that was like, oh, Janice has been talking to the bird again. He died. Thank you. Anyway, thank you. That was flutteringly exciting. Education. That was bad. Sorry.
Next time, just wing it.
Yeah. Whoever just said that, you need to be up on this stage instead.
No.
Go ahead and go with you.
All right.
What's your name?
Nico, written all over.
Okay. Nico, welcome to the stage.
Thank you. Now, like the last person, usually Alkali and Kage are here, and I usually start with a few classics. Kage walks into a convenience store and says to the clerk, 15 liters of wine, please. The clerk says, do you have a container for this? Clerk Kage says, you're speaking to it. So, Alkali comes home from the office late at night and finds Xander in bed with another man. Curious, she goes, what the hell is going on with this? Xander replies, guess what, Alkali? I've gone public. So two co-workers are talking, and one says to the other, you know, when I was born, I had two choices. Have a big dick or a great memory. What did you choose? I can't remember. So, how is a bungee jump and a hooker similar? They're both cheap, fast, and if the rubber breaks, dead. A guy walks into a tattoo parlor and says to the artist he wants a tattoo of a $100 bill on his dick. Curious, the artist asks, what do you want that for? 3 reasons. I like playing for my money, I like watching my money grow, and a $100 bill seems to be the only thing my wife will blow these days. How does a fox ruin a horse's self-esteem using only 4 words? Is it in yet? Why shouldn't you trust atoms? They make up everything! Why can't you run through a camping ground? You can only ran because it's past tense. I'm only friends with 25 letters of the alphabet. I don't know why. So a guy walks into a bank, he's talking to the bank owner, and the bank owner says, alright, if you want to open an account, I have to get your full name. Robin. Last name, D. Banks. Robin D. Banks? Shut up and give me all your money! Which country has the fastest growing population, or which country's capital has the fastest growing population?
Bangkok?
Nope.
Yeah.
Russia? Nope. Ireland. Because every year it's Dublin. A man goes to a $10 hooker and gets crabs. Later on, he goes to her and complains, and she says, "What do you expect for $10? Lobster?" So mother picks her son up from school, and she says, "What'd you do in school today?" "Oh, it was great. We made explosives." "Oh, they're teaching you very fancy stuff in school now, aren't they? What are you going to do tomorrow at school?" "What school?" So I Googled how to start a forest fire. I got over 45,000 matches. How am I doing?
You got 25 seconds.
Alright, I'll wrap it up.
Make the pain hurt.
When I undress in the bathroom, the only thing that gets turned on is the shower. Thank you!
Give it up for Nico!
Can I say this is the only time I've seen an entire room at a FurCon suffer from bad sushi? Hey, I almost dropped the bomb on you.
Alright, enough! Next!
Are you part of the bomb squad now?
Let's
Wait,
go.
no, it's, when in doubt, C4.
We'll go with blue, in the very back with the blue top, and then Sarah, then you're next.
It's turquoise, thank you though.
It's searchlights?
Turquoise.
Turquoise.
Searchlights!
That broke me, folks. That broke me.
And because of that, I gotta run it back. Sorry, guys. You can barely hear me.
Please, if you need to.
Oh!
What's your name?
Silver Yote.
Silver Yote. Everybody give it up for Silver Yote.
So if anyone's wondering why you can't hear me in suit, I was so excited to get my first fursuit, and then they sent it to me with a note that said, you know, the balaclava, I kind of left that up to you whether you wanted a hole in it or not. Okay, so I work at the Art Institute of Chicago. It's a big museum, it's a very confusing museum. I'm a security guard. So I have this opportunity to not really do anything except talk about art. But sometimes they do impressions for patrons. And one day I was just getting this really big Patrick Warburton vibe. So I just decided to say to these two girls, I don't know why, it was just random. It was like the next person who walked in the room, I'm going to do it. So these two girls walk in, they're like, excuse me, can you tell me how to get to wherever? No. And I said, you know, if you go over there, take a left, you go over there, take a right, and you know, if you go into the main lobby, you should get to where you need to go. And they're like, ah! And, let's see. There is another reason that I really like working at the Art Institute is that for some reason, because I got referred to by my friend, everyone knows I'm a furry. They don't even have to ask. They just know. And then like, it's just like so often they say, and I'm not going to say my real name, but Silver, like, so what's the whole thing with the flurries? And I'm like, I sexually identify as an Oreo McFlurry. I used to work at UPS. Hated it. Absolutely hated it. I was loading trucks for 4 hours. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it felt like 12. I went to Midwest Fur Fest 2014. We all know what happened there. I'm not going to talk about it. But when I came back, I was like, please, nobody say anything. Please, nobody say anything. I've told a few people, because I'm really bad at this. I'm really bad at like telling people that I'm not a furry. I'm just like, oh hi, what's up? I'm a furry. I'm like, so I'm just, you know, normal day, just walk in. Yo, Silver! Oh God. What the happened to Furfest? I'm like, well, it was a meeting of anthropomorphic lovers that love animals that are anthropomorphic. No. What happened at Furfest? I'm like, he's like, I saw like all you guys on the TV. I'm like, oh. And that's all I got. But I tried.
Wonderful. Just to say it, you did really well.
Thank you.
You did really well.
My first
stop. A lot of people don't.
Yeah. Thanks. Good job.
All right. Who's? Oh yeah, Seraphim. Sorry. Everybody, I don't have to ask. Give it up for Seraphim.
This is a new bit. I'm going to channel a bit of Lewis Black on this one. I hate driving. I really do. If you ever see me on the road and I'm behind you and you're in the fast lane and you're not going fast, just know right now that I hate you. Not you as a person, just your physical presence in front of me until I pass to you. Then we'll be fine. I hate traffic the most. It's like I don't get it, especially when going to Chicago. Chicago blows my goddamn mind every time I drive through it, which is about once a month. There's 6 lanes, and they're all full of cars. No one's going nowhere. I don't get it. I assume we're all going the same direction. Why are we all stopped on the road? No one's final destination's the middle of the goddamn highway, is it? I didn't think I didn't think so. And yet here I am, doing 5 miles on a 65, just puttering along as the other people, they're doing their hair, they're, doing the crossword puzzle, they're used to it. I'm not, I'm from Wisconsin. Like, we see more cows than cars usually when we do. And at one point, when I was, driving through Chicago, I saw a cop car, and I'm like, what are you doing there? Like, he was just sitting on the side of the road, like, you ain't catching speeders, son. Like, what in the hell? I'm like, and then I realized, like, oh my God, he's trapped there. Like, there's a wall of cars, you're going nowhere. I mean, no wonder it takes 45 minutes for a cop to respond to crime in Chicago. They're all stuck on the goddamn highway. I'm usually a very nice person. I'm usually very chill. But in the car, I kind of get all Mad Maxy on the whole area. And I'm screaming and swearing, and for no real reason. I know it's irrational. I don't care. It makes me feel good because in the back of my mind, my angry, hateful thoughts are pushing that car just a little bit faster so I can pass him. Which is fine when you're on your own, but when you're driving with a person who's not crazy, you tend to get a little anxious about that, particularly if you happen to drive like myself. My mate drives with me quite a bit on these excursions. And the first thing that she usually does when we enter Chicago is, honey, calm down. Which, a pro tip, if you say calm down to someone who is in a rage, they're not going to calm down. They're going to do the opposite, which is get angry, but now it's you. So, and that's like the only time that I ever really get angry with things, with one exception. I play occasionally these first-person shooters. Not like the Call of Duty, but like the Star Wars, because when I die, I'm a stormtrooper, so at least makes sense. I die a lot in those games. And, I don't care. I'm not getting graded on this. It's not going to further my career. Well, except by YouTube, but, at the same time, I get the rage. Like, how the hell that guy is shooting from way over there, Obviously, I know how, because they're cheaters. They're all fucking cheaters. That's what my brain is saying to me right then and there. They have somehow hacked this AAA game title specifically to ruin my experience. And my wife does the same thing to me when I play these games, which is, honey, you might want to calm down. And I just look at her and go, no, this is how I relax. That's my time. Thank you very much.
Careful, I'm terrified of you guys.
It's a tree. Does that sound familiar?
I don't want to talk about it.
Would you two please shut up? I'm dragging you here for a reason.
I am not making eye contact with you all the way home. Oh, tell me that's the worst blind joke you've ever heard.
You blindsided.
I'm over here. I'm over here.
I know, I can feel your presence. It's pissed.
Okay, before this turns into you and me making jokes for another 3 minutes, does anybody else would like to go? We do have a little bit extra time. Would anybody else want to come up and try their hand? Come on down! Woo! I forget your name every time, dude. I'm sorry. Alex, we have Alex!
Hello, thank you. I'm Alex. This is about the highlight. It's about as much applause as I expect throughout that performance, so thank you very much for that. I'm not up here because I have something elaborate to perform. I usually like to do little bits of short form. I like to crack jokes, observational comedy, so people sitting here staring at me because I'm actually doing anything, but thank you. But I did like that somebody mentioned work dragging on, especially that it was UPS. I actually work for FedEx and that, so I have a very similar experience. And it's just terrible when you just sit there and you do hours and hours of work, and you look up and 15 minutes have passed. it's just the worst experience in the world. But back to the I love wordplay just because there's so much you can do just playing with language, and that you can make like completely innocuous things just completely ridiculous and hilarious. But it's not always everybody's form of comedy. But one of my favorite examples is just ways you can play with like synonyms and that. You know, it's like the difference between going to church and saying, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned, and going over to your friend's house and saying, sorry, Daddy, I've been naughty. Thank you. And every now and again I'll get a few laughs, but like I said, not everybody's going to find it funny, because honestly, humor it's subjective. Some people are going to like some things, some people are going to not. Humor is a lot like, sense of humor is a lot like incest. It's all relative. Thank you.
Good job. I regret bringing you up on stage for that, but good job. Anybody else? All right, well, just so you know, it's 5 till 7 if you have something to do at 7. But I know that there's at least 2 more people that would like to go. Nobody else does. Go for it. What's your name? Klesnov. Klesnov. I said that right. Okay. Everybody give it up for Klesnov!
So I don't know if anyone else works in manufacturing, but manufacturing sometimes it's got to be a little bit strange, a little bit weird. Otherwise you'll lose your sanity completely, especially in a machine shop. I remember we had this one guy in the machine shop, and every day he would go out saying, "Squirrel operator!" Squirrel! For no apparent reason. And our supervisor, he knew him very well, and after a few months he left the shop. So after about a year he lost contact with him. And after that year he tried to use the same cell phone number. And he got in contact with him, supposedly finding his cell phone number. So he texted him on the phone, not hearing who he is or not even remembering who he is, but he had in his text, it sounded a little bit different from what he was used to. So he said, "Hey, how's it going? I haven't seen you." "Oh, hey, how's it going?" "Oh, it's fine. How are you and the wife doing?" Okay, yes." And then later on in the conversation, he found out that it was actually the wrong number. It was a completely different person. What would you do if you found out it was the wrong person? "Oh, hey, I'm sorry, it's the wrong number. Sorry." And he did just that, and he said, "Oh, thank you, but I'd like to ask you a question." "What's that?" "Can you be my friend?" And he's reading this text. What the hell kind of question is that? And he gives out his full name as if he was in second person. "Rodney Gaynor, got no friend or girlfriend." So, could you imagine the fright in this man who would see this person that he had no idea who he was and ask him to be his friend? No. Okay, you're blocked. So if anyone from Indiana knows a Rodney Gaines, please be his friend. Thank you.
Let's give it up for Rodney. Anybody else? Like I said, it's 7 o'clock, but we have time to go, or somebody else wants to go. Well, do you have your skip ready?
I can pull something out of my ass. I tend to do that
Hey,
all the
that's
time.
what we do.
You think I actually write notes would do me any good?
Okay, well, here. I hate to do this, but
No, you don't.
yeah,
No.
you're not wrong. So I wasn't supposed to be on this panel, and I was actually going to be doing open mic tonight. So if anybody has objections, tell me now to leave. But can I do my 3 minutes?
No.
Yeah, go.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Go for it.
I'll try to. Okay, all right, cool. I'm not standing up though because this is stupid shit. Behind me, please. I follow the rules. I'm like everybody else here, fluffy and cuddly and needing love.
You want me to tell you where to go?
Tell me to go.
Go.
Telling the blind guy to tell me to go.
I'm assuming there's the door. Okay, you're good.
Okay, all right. So, everybody in the last month, there have been a lot of tornadoes, so this is especially imperative right now. But in the last month, there was a National Emergency Alert Day. So across the country, all the fire departments, all the schools get together and they do their tornado drills where the kids go and duck and cover and put the books over their head because that's going to stop a 2x4. And they set off all the tornado sirens at a weird time that nobody's ready for. Well, I used to work as a contractor for the Air Force, and a lot of my friends moved forward onto bigger, better jobs, doing bigger, better things, most of which are in Washington, D.C., where the threat of death is every single day because of some orange. Anyway, so one Monday morning, I'm asleep. I work third shift. I'm asleep. It's 10:40 a.m. 10:41, I have a surprise coming. My phone rings. And it's this friend that's moved on to bigger, better things in Washington, D.C. and, would know when the apocalypse is coming. She, good morning. Ah! It's happening! It's happening! He fucking did it! Just find a place! Go hide! Go hide! What? Alright, and then at this point I'm like, alright, this is not the first time my friends have done stuff like this to me. So, alright, okay, whatever.
Hi.
911, dial tone. Go outside. I run outside to the porch. Like, okay, it's a tornado. It's fine. Blue skies. Helicopters flying over. Oh, shit. There's a solid 10 seconds of jump off the porch, jump into the bathtub, or just go get my 45. Bathtub it is. Ran to the bathtub, just like they say when a tornado comes, grab a sheet, grab a cover, throw it over you, and hope and pray. I was there for 20 minutes, thinking that this was the end because I was still tired. I was still on my meds for my leg, and there's the images of the day after in my head. And I get this phone call at 11 o'clock, exactly. And the sirens shut off right at 11. So everything stops, and it's like, this is the calm before the storm, I'm going to die. Hello? Gotcha. You're joking, right? You're dead. This is a call from the afterlife. Right. Click. This is the kind of stuff he does to me, too. This is the guy next to me that bought the giant poster of Alkali's face on the Dad magazine. Puts it over my bed. It falls on my face while I'm asleep. And this is what happens. Siri, you gotta get up! Siri, you gotta get up!
That's great.
She's only laughing because it happened. And I'm going to cut it off there. That's my time. It's your turn, asshole.
Alright. So, if I can reset that, we're all going to pretend that I'm actually really reading this perfectly. Alright. So, I've done a lot of material before that is blind-oriented, we'll say, but I'll save that for a little bit later. So, I've been thinking, half of this panel, honestly, this has been running through my mind. There's a 90s commercial that I've been thinking about. I believe the game is called Perfection. And you got to put all these pieces into the slot and the freaking thing blows up in your face. And I've been thinking about how sexual that fucking commercial is. Because, like, put the pieces into the slot, make the right selection, gotta be quick, you're racing the clock, pop goes Perfection, Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry, I have to stop you. I'm sorry, but that also sounds like an inflation first.
You're not wrong.
commercial.
So, normally I won't tell really recent events, but I'm gonna. So, last night, I know you're looking at me. Last night, I come into the room, and it's about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I go to sleep. And everybody else is asleep in the room. And my friend Poker, he is asleep on the bed beside of us. Now, he's not a quiet snorer. He literally sounds like a rhinoceros in the same room. And it's a furcon, that's fine. That's fine. But he sounded pretty loud. Now, my mate Snowflake, she was snoring too. Now, I've heard of sawing logs, but this literally sounded like a freaking saw. Now, this was fine. I dealt with it. Constant noise, I can zone it out. But for some reason, Poker had talked about having the munchies before he went to bed. And you know that point where you get halfway between being awake and asleep and weird shit happens with your mind? For some reason, I thought of the munchies, and I swore that his snore sounded like chocolate cake. I don't know why. For some reason, the verbal enunciation on my ears, and so now I'm faced with a predicament. Do I laugh and wake everybody up, or do I just hold it in and pray to God my lungs don't give out? I took the second one, and I told these guys the story, and they looked at me like I was the high one with the munchies.
He snorted and woke me up, so.
Did I?
He's a liar.
And now we're going to see what this is. Alright. So, alright. I'll do this story. So, how many of you have actually heard me perform comedy on stage before at any point in time? Okay, well I couldn't see the hands anyways. So, basically, this is known as a cock and nut exterminator. It's a cane. What this does, it helps me get around, but it also takes the sexual tension away from any stupid people. At an undisclosed convention a few years back, I might or might have not been drunk, and trying to make my way back to my room, which is fun in itself. But what ended up happening, somebody thought it'd be a great idea to, just lay outside their door and text on their phone. Sprawl. This cane has a difference between wall and skin. Wall sounds like this. When you hit somebody in the junk, the wall's not supposed to scream at you and curl up like a caterpillar. It did. I met the person later at the con and explained to them what happened, and they have pretty much told me that for the next few cons that they seen me, they actually were like, I am not going to come around you unless I'm wearing a cup. You're fucking dangerous.
And now that person rooms with him nightly at cons. Thanks, asshole.
Guys, this has been Open Mic. We went a few minutes over, but we had fun. This has been Open Mic. I'm Citrine Husky, and this is my friend Sari Propzilla. Yeah, well...